Studios to view. The truth is here in your eyes.
Alright, welcome to another edition of the Bashment Era. Yes, your favorite show of all time, the show that gives you updates across the globe. Yes, both entertainment, political, sports, just name them. I hope you know how we do it all the time, and we appreciate your support. If this is your first time on this channel, the best thing and then the finest thing you can do for us is to do what? Like this video, comment, subscribe, click on the notification button so that you'll be the first person to be getting the update each and every day as well. Yes, call me Precious Lame, the favorite host of all day. Today, one of the finest DJs of all time in the history of hip hop or music is in the news and has been trending for some hours now. If you know him very well, Tim Westwood, one of the finest DJs. If you are from Africa, you know him that most African artists pass through his show for the freestyle sections and others. From Ghana like this, we can name artists like we see Arta Medical, Sarkodie, Manifest, the Asaka, Amrado, Kweku Flake. What do we call this guy? There's a lot, and the Nigerians also have Zlatan. Couple of artists also pass through from Jamaica. That's one of the highest radio like stations that puts African music on the map throughout the musical journey as well. So yesterday, a news came out from BBC The Guardian, which shows that couple of multiple women accused the DJ of sexual misconduct and other stuff that have been going on. Because a couple of ladies were like, yes, when they are, most of them are musicians, so when they send their music to the DJ, he mostly asks for like sex in return, or maybe like those kind of sexual interactions with them. And others too said when they met at shows and taking pictures, he normally use his hands to grab their private parts, which now before the issues are coming up, and most of the issues that these people are raising happened like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, 19 years ago. And now that the DJ is 64 years old, most of the ladies that this happened to them, back then they are now like 40 years. Yes, 40, 45. So meaning back then they are like 20 years, 25, 19 and others. So this is what I'll be reading from, that's The Guardian. Yeah, The Guardian, for you to get the whole updates correctly. The renowned DJ Tim Westwood has been accused of multiple misconduct by multiple women who claim he misused his position in the music industry to take advantage of them. 3 women have accused the DJ of opportunistic and predatory sexual behavior, while 4 others allege they were groped by him at events. The women, who were in their late teens or early 20s when they say the incident happened, described their experience to The Guardian and BBC News as part of a joint investigation into the former BBC Radio 1 DJ. The earliest alleged incident took place in 1992, the most recent in 2017. Yeah, so meaning it started in 1992, and then let's say the last one happened in 2017. One of the women said, "Someone taking advantage of my naivety and lack of confidence isn't something that I should have to carry with shame." Westwood has strenuously denied all the allegations. A spokesperson said they were completely false and denied in the entirety. So this is what one of the ladies said in the documentary. Just listen.
There, he was in a car. It's an assumption, a complete assumption I've made that we're going somewhere to talk about the music. So I don't ask where we're going. And then the next thing, he's undone his trousers. He actually tapped me to turn around and look at the fact that he's exposing himself. So I've looked and I've seen, and I'm like, oh no, oh no, like, oh my God.
In response to the allegation on Tuesday, the BBC said it was shocked. A spokesperson said, "The BBC is against all forms of inappropriate behavior, and we are shocked to hear of this allegation. The BBC has strict codes of conduct for all those engaged by the BBC, including on-air presenters. The women, who are all black, decided to tell their stories in the aftermath of anonymous allegations of inappropriate behavior about Westwood circulating on social media in June 2020. In a statement at the time, Westwood denied any wrongdoing, saying the allegations online were fabricated, false, and without foundation. The Guardian and BBC, which has released a documentary on BBC 3 about the story, has since spoken to 7 women who make a range of separate allegations about the DJ's conduct. So according to the whole issue right now, if you see, most of the ladies were just explaining themselves, and according to some of the incidents that happened, they were afraid since they were black. So at that time, the racism also was something that has been going on in the black community in America as well. So they were afraid, young talented artists afraid to say something to maybe that will ruin their career. So this be the main reason why they kept till now, that maybe they have the confidence and some like okay, now they have the upper voice to voice it out to the public, to explain what happened at that time. So these are the women, these are the people that the whole issue happened to. There are a lot, so I'll be mentioning them and then narrate few part of their stories as well. So this is coming from Isabel. Yeah, Isabel was 19 when she says she was the victim of Westwood alleged predatory behavior in 2010. So when she was 19, so almost that'll be 12 years now. Yeah, so 2010 to 2022, that'll be 12 years now. He was 53 at that time. The university graduate described wanting to pursue a career in music. She grew up in the Midlands, singing gospel and writing her own songs. When she discovered Westwood was DJing at a nightclub in her hometown in 2010, she says she hoped to get her music into his hand. At that time, he was the main gatekeeper for access to what I needed to do, she says. She described to The Guardian and BBC putting together a demo CD with her contact details inside, and says she went to the nightclub supported by her best friend and stepmother. Isabel says they managed to give the CD to the DJ, who to her excitement called her the next day and suggested meeting in London. We were thinking that this is a really good lead at this point, she says. He wants to act on this quickly. She says after a few days later, she took the train to London for an afternoon meeting and met Westwood at Oxford Circus, where he picked up her in his car. Isabel says her complete assumption was that they were going somewhere to talk about her music. The phone call was the only interaction we'd had before that, she says. There was nothing flirtatious or romantic about the nature of the conversation. So this is more about Isabel. Yes, this is more about Isabel. But it says when the journey lasted longer than she expected and her surrounding became unfamiliar, she started to become anxious. We got in the car. He made the most minimal amount of small talk. I could tell that he wasn't particularly interested in the music thing, he says. Isabel says she was looking away from him, but he then turned to find Westwood had undone his trousers and was exposing himself. I didn't actually see him undo his trousers. What alerted me for the fact that he was exposing himself was that he actually tapped me to turn around to look. I've looked and I've seen and I'm like, oh no, like, oh God, she says. Isabel says she felt scared but unable to get herself out of the situation. So this is more about the video that, like the audio that you just listened. So that was Isabel. Isabel's story was just familiar. So they went to the house, to the crib, and then she said she's the only person in that part, and then she can't deny it at that moment, because as a black lady in that moment too, when maybe you try to scream without time, maybe the white folks have to run up on you and other stuff. Then she narrated a lot. So this is the second lady, Pamela. This is coming from another lady also called Pamela. Pamela says, Pamela's story shares similarities with Isabel's, now in her 40s. Pamela was 20 when she says she first met a DJ through friends. It was 2000 and she was active in the youth rap scene. Working with aspiring young musicians, the DJ then in his 40s wanted to connect with younger audience and asked her to do work experience with him. She says he assures her mother on the phone, and Pamela traveled to London to meet him for work experience. But when Westwood picked her up from King's Cross station, train station in large American style car, he soon began touching her leg and face while he was driving, she alleged. So this coming from Pamela. And then the third person says Tamara. This coming from Tamara. So according to Pamela, the story continues. So they drove down to the same place, like to his crib, but the same thing happened with the sexual assault and then misconduct as well. Okay, so this is a third lady in the picture, whose name is Tamara. Tamara says she first met Westwood when she was 17-year-old member of a British R&B group, and he was in his mid-30s and the #1 hip-hop DJ at the time. She says when he asked if she wanted to hang out, she thought it was just about to talk about her career. It could make or break your career, she says. If you wanted to get any kind of exposure, you would try to get your demo to him and pray that he will play it. He had absolute power. Yes, that one is fact. Everybody knows Tim Westwood that, yes, when he tapped on the turntables, your song is out there, everybody is going to love it. Within the recording industry and then the black community, despite him being a white man, he had absolute power. So the first three ladies that I just talk about, that's Tamara, Pamela, and Isabel. These are the ladies that were accusing Tim Westwood of the sexual misconduct, and then the other side. These are the people that had affair with him. So the four other ladies who explains that they were groped at a party. These names are Farah, Claire, Loretta, and Nila. These people says when they are in party and then maybe they want to take a picture, mostly you see when you are putting your hand around the shoulder of a lady, they said when his hand enters into their shirt and then their dress and then grab their boobs and then press it, and then sometimes they got frozen because they don't expect things like that from like a world-renowned like celebrity like that. So this has really affected them, especially in public. People also say when they are taking pictures, then he will just grab their ass. So for now, this is the issue going around about Tim Westwood. Everybody knows that Tim Westwood was in Ghana recently with a couple of shows like interviews and other stuff. Was in Nigeria as well. So this is the allegation that has been alleged or maybe filed against Tim Westwood, one of the finest DJs that we ever had in the world. With almost 64 years. Yes, I think it's like 64 years now. So we are waiting if this case, how he is going to respond to it. Even though his lawyers are saying the case is all fabricated, they are all lies. They have to go to court and other stuff so that they can just find out the main reason why such things happen. So this is why Tim Westwood is trending all over the news since for the past few hours in the United States, all over the world. Yes, this is what has been happening. But to me personally, I would love Tim Westwood to come and clarify the air because of his influence on the public and then the youth and then the musical, like let's say the creative art industry across the world. Yes, he has been one of the finest people that we've, like to me personally, I was glad I met someone like that, putting other people on board and then putting the musical section, putting the musical like world to make it to the topmost like that, especially for Africa. Yes, we really appreciate that. But the only thing that can really make it is for him to come and clarify or clear the airs that yes, this is not true, this is true, so that we will know what happens. So this is why Tim Westwood is trending. If you don't know, this is why he is trending. So keep up with us as we'll be giving you more updates concerning Tim Westwood sexual allegation and then misconduct as well right there on Studios to View. Like this video, comment, subscribe, and then what? Share this video. Click on the notification button if this is your first time here, or maybe you've been here but you've never clicked on that notification button. Yes, you have to do it as well, and then subscribe. Share it to everybody to subscribe. Tell a friend and family that yeah, this is one of the finest channels that you've ever met, giving you news every day, entertaining you, educating you, and as well what, making you feel good. So fun, subscribe to them. You also enjoy it, you also love it. Call me Preciously, your host of all day, right on Studios to View. We out.
Studios 2 View. The truth is here, in your eyes.